Our experience of Bach's music is as wide and as unique as the music of Bach himself. I'm Steve Starrick with a series of personal stories from Bach Society of Minnesota performers, participants in the cantata workshops, and our listeners. Baroque violinist Jin Kim has been with the Bach Society of Minnesota for 3 seasons. She's participated as a soloist and as an ensemble player in the very successful Bach and Jazz series. Jin, welcome.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Jin, I wanted to ask about how you became a Baroque violinist. You were a modern player at the University of Michigan, and then something happened. Tell us what that is.
I was a student at the University of Michigan and the graduate school program, and in 1987 I had a chance to listen to one of these LP recordings of Bach solo played by a Baroque violinist, and that was one of the most shocking experience for a musician can have.
I understand that you weren't able to sleep that night, is that correct?
I mean, no, I was not able to sleep very well for over a week.
A week.
Really thinking about this special, intimate, and warm sound quality of the Baroque violin. I've never heard before.
And what happened after that?
I had to find out about it, and I was very lucky to be in that town. There were many Baroque instrument makers and players, so I got one of the instruments that I can use, and I studied and I started my journey.
Tell us where that journey has left you.
I studied with local musicians, and it led me to Europe. Studied with Sigswald Quicken along with many others, and it became a very long and winding road, but it was a very exciting journey for me.
You're a wonderful Baroque violinist, and I'm wondering how the music of Johann Sebastian Bach plays into who you are as a musician.
I find Bach's music is the most challenging and rewarding to my music, because my ultimate goal that I have as a musician is to combine my music with my spirituality. And his music endlessly challenging and rewarding me all the time with the most depths.
Now, Bach has been gone for 250 years. Is the spirituality that he espouses a part of your spirituality? Is there a universal quality to that?
I think it's universal, because the truth in spirituality never changes. So it's daily challenging, it's forever, but it's every day is fresh. So it's really makes my life happy.
Jin, sometimes people will go to a concert where Baroque violin is featured, and they want to know why it is that a Baroque violin is needed for the music of the 18th century. What do you say to them?
We can say it's a matter of taste, but also there are some parts that is not a matter of taste. Because as a musician, while we are making journey to make a good music, there are some information that we cannot not have to understand the period of music. And we have so many informations about original instrument and original scores, and that explains so much about this music, what it's about.
So you've studied the history, and we know from treatises that this is the kind of instrument that would have been used in the 18th century.
Right, and then when we actually play with that kind of instrument, the instrument itself teaches us so much about the music.
Can you give an example?
Well, for example, we use a Baroque bow, and it is really easy to make an articulation. And it is about speech. That period of music was about speech. It's easy to speak. So it's easy to speak with this kind of bow. It's like we are able to speak with a clear pronunciation. It's learning a different language, but it's about the pronunciation, not like my English, but it will be like your English.
So the articulation on the string with the bow is so much cleaner and clearer.
Clearer, and that's what, for example, Bach meant to say when he wrote his music. So it's like clear speech with a good pronunciation if we use original instrument with original technique. But after that, it can be applied to modern instruments or modern musicians. So that much can be basic information, but then afterwards it's personal taste.
I want to ask you a question about the difference between modern violin playing and Baroque playing.
Mm-hmm.
And one aspect of modern playing is vibrato and
Right.
continuous vibrato. In the 18th century, vibrato, the treatises tell us that it's a color.
Mm-hmm.
Was it difficult or easy for you to make the transition from a continuous shaking of the left hand to something that was making a color?
At first, for a couple of years, it has been very difficult to stop, which I was automatically doing it whenever I pick up my violin. But then afterwards, I get used to this new language, and it was very hard to understand the vibrato in the whole notes, because I couldn't tell what was the exact pitch in that note with this vibrato all the time. It changed like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's so much easier now because you have an idea, a better idea of how the color works in this music?
Right, it is really comfortable. It will be for everyone.